Hello and welcome back to the weekly Q&A. My name's Lumin and right now we're on the farm. We are actually just across the river from where our wedding site is meant to be, but right now there's not much of a site to see because we can't actually get across. So we were going to make a paperbird video while we're here, but sadly neither of us is too keen on swimming at the moment. Especially not with all the cameras and cell phones and other goodies that we have here. So we can't get across to give you guys a tour of what's going on over there, but soon. Soon we will come back when it's nice and hot and there won't be a big fat river to cross. For now though, this is happening. Got some questions here. I've actually got something different at the start here. Last week I asked about fall flavors because I had no idea what you guys were talking about. Actually, I had a bit of an idea, but I didn't know what you guys, and by you guys I mean the Americans amongst you who celebrate Halloween and, well, have things like favorite fall flavors, thought about all of that. So I asked you guys and I got two really good responses that kind of summed everything up. And the first is from Magical Alchemy. The fall flavors question is probably from a fellow American. When I think of fall flavors, I think pumpkin, cinnamon, apple, pumpkin spice, coffee. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. This weekend, I visited my sister's house and we had vanilla coffee. And that alone, which is like the most basic flavor ever. Vanilla combined with coffee. That's it. And it was so good. So good. Now I didn't want to start thinking about how good pumpkin spice coffee is. Wow. Wow. I don't know, for some reason flavored coffee here costs a ridiculous amount. It's like 50 Rand for a little 50 gram tub of this coffee of various flavors, and we never get that. That's just a little bit too much. Then, carrying on, he or she also said cakes, pies, pancakes, anything to do with Halloween and Thanksgiving. Here in America, as soon as October the 1st comes around, every business is selling pumpkin flavored this or that or the other. Man, pumpkin is such a underused vegetable here. We never see pumpkins in shops to buy. If you do see them, they're like in the back corner when no one ever looks or finds them. And pumpkin flavored stuff, few and far between. I love pumpkin pie, one of my favorite things ever. We discovered an amazing pumpkin pie recipe a little while ago, and man, we had way too much pumpkin pie in a short amount of time, and it was glorious. I also hope you guys are enjoying the sounds of nature here. It's quite nice. It's a nice change from the buzzing of a PC fan, or like hooters or cars driving by, stuff like that. It's nice. It's a little bit warm here. It's feeling very summery, but just yesterday it was raining, and that's why this river is as swollen as it is. It smells good though. Fresh air. Smells like mud, but it's a good mud smell. Good mud. Then Chris Browning also says fall flavors would be stuff like pumpkin, cinnamon, apple, pear, cranberry, and things of that nature. All things that I absolutely love. Absolutely. Now we move on to the questions. Ben Salah Damin. I had to put this one first just because. Hey man, is there a Hearthstone Beta Key for me, bro? Ben, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, there isn't one for you specifically, but I am hoping that Blizzard send me another batch next week. As far as I can tell, they're sending them out every 2 weeks now, and I think next week is probably going to be the last batch because, and I'm going to be discussing this in a little bit. I actually think it's the next question. Yes, in the next question I'm going to be discussing it, but I think Hearthstone will go very open very soon. So don't even worry about that. I just wanted to put that question right the heck at the start so I can let you guys know, the guys and girls amongst you that are here for Hearthstone or Hearthstone Beta Keys, that I'm doing my best to get more of them to give away, and regardless of what I'm doing, you will get in soon. Not Blizzard soon, real soon. Don't even worry about it. Then, Riverside 10291. Is that like your area code or something? Because that's a pretty cool nickname if you think about it. That could be where he stays. We're Riverside right now. Sadly, that's not our area code. Our area code is 7200. So I could call myself Riverside 7200. And if we did that, if everyone just named themselves that, well, things would be a bit confusing. Anyway, being able to play against you and other Lumies would be awesome. I can't wait for that. And also being able to finally play Hearthstone. I can't wait for all of you guys to get in, and I can't wait for some proper social features in Hearthstone, because as much as I think Blizzard are kind of happy with the way that Hearthstone works at the moment, where things are not too personal, you can't really chat to other players, you can't really, well, interact with them too much, other than just the simple emotes and stuff. As much as they like that, I do think that the game is lacking a little bit. It would be nice that if they added some way of interacting with players outside of games, so chat channels or guilds or clans, stuff like that would be great. Really cool. Can't wait for them to do something with that. When they do add that, we're going to make a plan. Us Loomies will stick together. For my question though, do you think they'll announce an open beta or release date at BlizzCon? And what are your thoughts on when they'll do this? So, as you were saying, BlizzCon is a very big possibility. Well, I don't know if you're saying that, but you may have been implying it. I think that at BlizzCon, we're either going to hear a solid release date, or we're going to hear about a proper open beta. But they did mention in a blue post recently that everyone that opted in for the closed beta of Hearthstone will get in at some point. So the fact that they said that leads me to believe that they're going to get everyone that opted in before the game releases or launches officially. Nero's looking so handsome right now. He's sitting over there, just looking out over the river. I wish I could show you. Well, I could get up and move the camera, but then I'm not going to get it in the right place again. So I think BlizzCon is our best bet for news regarding Hearthstone's release or open beta. I don't think there's going to be an open beta per se. I think that after the soft launch now of the game, they're just going to open it up fully, and that's going to be that. But they will give us a proper date for that and everything. And I also think that at BlizzCon, we're going to hear a whole lot about new stuff that they plan in. There won't be any news on an expansion or anything like that. It's way too soon. But we'll hear about some big features that they're planning on adding. And I think that they might even have some surprises in store for us regarding things like tournament modes in the game or spectating modes or stuff like that they're going to reveal and show off during the Innkeeper's Invitational. That's what I think. I think we're going to hear a whole lot about Hearthstone, and it's going to be a whole lot of good news at BlizzCon. Then, from Trevor Shearwood, hi Lumin, my question this week is, in Hearthstone, what's your favorite class? I don't know. I have been so back and forth. Let me tell you, when I first started playing, I thought to myself, I'm a mage through and through. I thought to myself, well, I'm going to stick with mage, this is my kind of class. But then I started playing hunter. And I thought to myself, this is really fun. I like the aggressive style. I like the versatility that hunter has. I like the brute force. Everything about hunter was just fun. After that, however, I thought to myself, well, priest could be a lot of fun. Could be nice. I started playing that right after the patch came out, and it was really, really cool. Then I made the super buff deck for the warrior. I had to think of the name for a second there, and that sort of won me over. I played with Murlocs, and I gotta say, I felt nothing. I enjoyed the Murloc deck a lot. The gameplay style was great, but I didn't feel like I needed to play Murlocs for an extended period of time. It just isn't my kind of thing. But after the Warrior, I moved on to the Rogue, and let me tell you, I kind of like Rogue. I do. I think that Rogue's class ability, the dagger, is kind of underrated. It's very useful, and I like the style of the Rogue cards as well. And then you combine Pirates with that, and it's just a ton of fun. I'm thinking of messing around a little bit more, mixing things up a little bit more with my Pirate deck. Sellswords Volume 2 now. I think I'm going to change it a little bit more, mess with it a bit more, make it a little bit more fun and effective, and we'll see. So that said, all that said, I don't really have a favorite class. I'm still going through the motions of trying them all for an extended period, and I want to make at least 1 or 2 constructed decks with each class before I dedicate a whole lot more time to a class. But let me tell you right now that all the classes are just a ton of fun. There are a couple that I haven't even really spent any time with. Paladin, Shaman, apart from Arena now. Paladin, Shaman, Warlock, Druid, definitely not. You know, there are a lot of things I still want to mess around with those classes, so I'll get to that. Then, the last part of this question. Now that I have a key, I'm playing Hearthstone, so check your emails on Facebook and add me so we can have a duel. Soon. Very soon I'm going to start adding people, and I might remove them afterwards if the social features aren't implemented yet, but I'll add someone. We'll spend an hour or two playing a couple of games, having a quick chat, and I'll record a couple of them. So we can just have that up on the channel because it'll be fun. It's going to happen soon, don't even worry. Then, Bumfrey. Hello, Bumfrey. I trust all is well. What is your favorite Pokemon? I read this question this morning while I was preparing to print this, and I thought to myself, I don't think I can answer it. I don't think that I have a favorite Pokemon yet. I haven't spent enough time playing Pokemon, especially not recently. Back in the day I played a whole lot, and I kind of was leaning towards a couple of them, enjoyed a couple of them more, but you know, recently I just got to the point where I just wanted to catch them all. I wanted to get them all and then decide after that what I would spend time leveling and invest in skill points into and all that. But I gotta say that after seeing the new and amazingly cool looking Pokemon added in X and Y, I just can't wait to jump back in there and start using them. Some people are saying that the new Pokemon, some of them look too humanoid in form. Some of them look too spacey in form. Some of them look too out there. I say that it's amazing. I think that you got to look at it in a broader sense. You got to look at the big picture. So you got to look at the old ones, the first gen, the original Pokemon. You got to add them to the new ones, and you got to think to yourself, wow, they actually got a nice balance there. It's cool. It's really nice. So of the new ones, there were a whole lot that caught my eye, that tickled my fancy, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what my favorite is. This is the kind of question you're going to have to ask me in a couple of months when I've actually spent some time with Pokemon X and Y and it's all fresher in my mind. I will tell you guys now that when I do start playing X and Y, I will most definitely be able to at least record a couple of videos with like impressions or just a couple of vlogs maybe talking about my experiences with the game and what I'm enjoying, what I'm not enjoying, what I like, what I don't like, stuff like that. So I will have more Pokemon stuff up on the channel at some point. I don't think I'll be able to record gameplay or anything because there's no way of doing that, but I want to play Pokemon. When I can afford Pokemon, I'll buy it. When I can afford to spend some time on it, I'll buy it. Something like that. We'll see. Then, Matthew Collins. Hey Lumin, here's a genuine question. I'm a tea fanatic just like you, and I'm also from South Africa. So I was wondering, where do you get all your various teas from? So, Woolworths has nice tea. We sometimes go to, and for those that aren't in South Africa or don't know about South African stores, Woolworths is like Marks and Spencer over in the UK and Ireland. And sometimes Fruit and Veg City has really nice teas. Sometimes we find them just like Spar and Pick and Pay. Anyway, we just keep our eyes open for teas wherever we go. Sometimes we find them on markets and stuff that we visit. You know, you can just find tea anywhere, and if there's a flavor that looks really good, we get it. We get it, we test it, and we see what it's like. So that's all I'll say. On that matter, that's all I'll say. I actually need to try and keep this kind of brief because I'm not sure how long this camera is going to last. But next question. The Madness Eye, do you have a favorite cup to drink tea from? Show us if yes. Also, I know I did not bring a mug with you. I'll tell you that in just a second. Also, are you keen to see such a big change? Oh, okay. Are you keen to see such big change to the map as the one in the next Guild Wars 2 patch? So, I think I know what you're talking about. It's something about a big and scary looking Halloween themed tower or something. Like a really dreary and dark looking tower. I can't remember what the patch itself was called, but yes, I think it's about time that they start spreading their wings a little, start stretching their legs a little, their creative legs at least, and start working on more substantial content that's going to stick around and actually be fun. I think that after South Sun Cove's release, they learned a lot about how they should and shouldn't handle new areas, because that area was great, but it was also a flop. So if you guys haven't seen it, just visit guildwars2.com. You can watch the trailer there. But I do think that it's going to be a really good thing for Guild Wars, and it's the kind of change I think the game needs. It's going to feel like a proper release instead of a little mini content update. Then, as for the mug thing, I have 3 or 4 mugs I drink coffee and tea from. And the reason for that is because, the main reason for that is because I don't want to get attached to one. I don't want to say that this is my mug. This is the mug I'm going to drink from, because that sets me up for disappointment. When it inevitably breaks one day, I'm going to be heartbroken. I'm going to want to like glue it back together, salvage it, and I don't like that. I can't go through that again. Because it happened before in my life, and it's not good for my heart. I get really attached to things, so that's not something I want to do. At the moment, I've got 3 or 4 mugs. I've got like a green one that's just plain green. I got a yellow and white one. I got a plain white one, and I got a stripy muck and white colored one. But I suppose the reason I haven't stuck with one is because we don't really have any nice mugs, and they don't sell any nice mugs here that I want. I was considering buying a mug from Dodger's store, because she has some nice ones. I was considering making my own mugs at some point, but we're going to start with something more simple with the merchandise, like a t-shirt or something. See how that goes. We'll get to it, but I don't have any nice mugs, and I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. Those are the 2 reasons. Then, Legend of Tomorrow, I have a question for your next Q&A, Lumin. I know that when you started your channel long ago, you got a lot of support from other big YouTubers such as Dopefish and other people that sort of helped you get to where you are. If someone was trying to become a YouTuber such as yourself, hello Nero, how would they go about getting noticed or sponsored? I guess you could say. By those kinds of people like Machinima and others. So, firstly, there are 2 things that came into this question. The sponsored part, I guess you could call partnered instead of sponsored. I think that's what you're talking about. If you want to get partnered to the channel, you just need to get a certain amount of views or subscribers. Either. Channels work differently. Sometimes people have a lot of subscribers that watch videos on and off, and that's pretty much how mine is. You know, I got a lot of subscribers at the moment, and, well, a lot for me. I see 23,000 as a really big number. There are 23,000 potential viewers out there, and that's scary. I'm looking into the lens of my camera, and there could be 23,000 of you looking right back at me. That's a lot of people. And just imagine here on the farm having 23,000 people milling about. That would be crazy. Okay, absolutely crazy. And, you know, my channel works in that way. My channel has a lot of subscribers, and they on and off watch the videos. Some watch these, some watch those. They do what they want. Other channels have fewer subscribers, but release maybe fewer videos that are slightly bigger. Then they get a lot of views on the video and a lot of outside viewers, but people don't feel the need to subscribe to them because it's not something you watch all the time. And either of those will work to get a partnership with a big network like Machinima, Maker Studios. Maker has different divisions like Polaris that I'm in now, or RPM, which is the smaller one that sort of takes on new YouTubers. But, you know, to get noticed by them, just do what you do, and when you get to a certain size, they'll either contact you, or you can just go out and contact them, ask what you need, what the requirements are. They'll give you a pretty straightforward answer. I think for the smaller ones, it's something like 500 subscribers, X amount of views per month. That's that. You can get partnered, you can start making some money from your videos, you can monetize the gameplay content, stuff like that. It's going to make things a lot easier for you, but always read the contracts carefully. If there's a contract to sign, make sure you're happy with it before you sign it, and just watch out for yourself. Do that. The first part of the question though, how do you go about being noticed by other YouTubers? Let me just make sure I got it right. Yes. So in my case, I didn't really go out of my way, but I was a watcher of Dopefish's videos. I watched his videos. I was a watcher of, for instance, Craft Chest's videos. He sent a lot of people my way when I first started out. And the best way to get noticed by people is to interact with him. Chat with him on Twitter. Dopefish is, using Dopefish as an example, I hope you don't mind, Kyle, but he is such a great guy that he would probably, if you just go ask him a question, if you just chat him up on Twitter, he'll probably reply to you. He's not that kind of person, not because he's got 75,000 or 80,000 subscribers, I'm not even sure where he is right now, but it's going up really fast. He's not too good to speak to you. And that is one of the reasons that I absolutely love him. He's a down-to-earth guy, he's great to talk to, and because of that, you know, get in touch with these people. Just every now and then send them a message, say, hey, how's it doing? I hope you're not stressed out, because some people like hearing that. Some people like it if you just ask them how they are, how their day's been. You could comment on their videos. Tell them what you think. Give their videos a like, share them, do stuff like that. Basically just be part of their community and you'll probably get noticed. If you're doing your own videos and stuff, you could collaborate without collaborating, if you know what I'm saying. And I suppose if you're making content that appeals to certain people, because apparently my content appealed to, for instance, Dopefish. He liked my videos, just as I liked his videos. They're a little bit crazy, they're a little bit out there. But they're my kind of videos. Same kind of thing. You may not have a connection with someone you want to have a connection with, but there's going to be someone out there that does the same kind of stuff as you, that's perhaps bigger than you, that's going to be interested in your kind of videos. Same thing. Then as you grow, as your channel gets bigger, you will, I suppose, get involved with more people, and as you grow, other people will start growing with you. That kind of stuff will happen. You're going to have a lot of more people on your level. You're going to be able to collaborate with them, chat with them, stuff like that. It's basically just being consistent, sticking with what you're doing, and I guess I could say trying to get noticed. Spending some time networking. I'm not good at that kind of thing. Sometimes I'm a bit of a recluse or a hermit, but I feel like I have had help and support, and I've got friendship, and I've got connections with some really, really, really great YouTubers and really great people. And that's just because I've stuck with it. I have always been there, they've always been there, and that's just it. And a couple of them that just come to mind immediately that are sort of growing with me. For instance, Gamer MD. I love you, girl. I do. Her videos are so much fun. Gamer MD 83, you can go check her out. Do it. Just do it. Dopefish, for instance. He's not growing at the same speed as me. It's just skyrocketing. But there are a lot of people that are doing YouTube videos, and you'll find someone that's right for you. Then, I spent a bit much time on that, sorry. So I might have to rush the next couple, but there aren't that many left. Isabella Vicente. I always like getting questions from you, girl. Hi, Lumin. I have a couple of questions. Do you still plan on doing Dark Souls? I'm not sure if I'm going to do a full playthrough of it, but I'm definitely going to do an adventure with you at some point. I'm keen. Definitely keen. And there's also Dark Souls 2 coming at some point. We'll want to have a look at that as well. I want to have a look at Dark Souls 1 before I do Dark Souls 2. I don't want that thing stinging me. It didn't look good. But I will at some point. I'm not going to do a full playthrough though. Not unless I have like a super huge amount of time. Then. Shorts or trousers? I'm not even sure what you mean by that. Are trousers long pants? Yes. Eileen says yes. She's skulking over there. Enjoying the nature. I would say it's like a 60-40, maybe even 70-30 split for me. I would say that for the most part I'd prefer longer pants. I don't know why. I just end up wearing them more. I got some nice green jeans from Woolworths recently on special, double special actually. They went on sale, then they went on sale again. So they were like a quarter of the price. They're quite nice. But I would say for the most part I prefer longer pants. I don't know why. In summer I obviously wear a lot of shorts if I'm just sitting around or if I'm going to the gym or whatever. I never wear long pants to the gym. That just doesn't happen no matter how cold it is. Makes more sense wearing the shorts. But for most other cases I prefer trousers. Then what are your thoughts on the seasons in Guild Wars 2 World vs. World that were added in a recent update? I think it's a great idea. I think that World vs. World still needs a lot of work. They need to make it more appealing, and I think they're doing that. They're adding a new map soon, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. Definitely going to jump in to have a look at that. But I think the seasons are going to be good, and it's going to be a nice way to get people to have something to strive towards. I think it's great. Really good move by them, but I think it's something that they've been planning for a while. It's not like it's a surprise or anything. Then, what upcoming games are you most looking forward to? So, I'm kind of keen. It's a pity you can't see him in the water down here, but he's in the water right now. I'm kind of keen for Battlefield or Call of Duty. One of the two. I want to at least play a little bit online at some point. Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts. But those are not the games that I'm really looking forward to. I just want to have at least one competitive type FPS game that I can try out every now and then. We'll see. But otherwise, I'm most looking forward to some of the next-gen console games. I'm really keen to see what they do with Destiny. Definitely. I'm obviously waiting and looking forward to Star Citizen. Starbound is one game that I'm super keen for as well. Hearthstone. I'm really super excited for Hearthstone's official release. Other Blizzard titles. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Heroes of the Storm. That's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I think that Blizzard will make a fun and interesting and exciting MOBA. I want to see what's going to happen with Legacy of the Void. I'm obviously keen for Reaper of Souls. That is actually, if I had to put a game close or at the top, I'd say Reaper of Souls. Diablo 3's expansion is right up there because we recently revisited, myself and Eileen revisited Diablo, and it was just a blast. That game was just super fun, and I thought to myself, this game I could have played more. And I'm going to. When Reaper of Souls comes out, or sometime before it comes out, I'm going to immerse myself fully in Diablo 3, and I'm going to get back into it. Just because. I feel I owe it to the game, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So those are some of the games I'm looking forward to. There are a whole lot more, because, come on, the last couple of months have been huge for big new announcements. So you guys are probably going to leave a whole bunch of different games that I didn't mention here in the comment section, and I will agree with each and every one of them for sure. I'm also looking forward to Pokemon. I don't have it yet. I will get it at some point. I don't know when yet, but I'm super keen for that because it seems like they changed so much in it that it's just going to be a lot more fun than Black and White was. So there. That's that. Then Terra Muncher. Lumin and I personally prefer Terraria style of updates, not often but adding a lot of content each time to Minecraft. Updating every week or so, but not really adding much content each time. Which do you prefer update wise? I'm right with you there. I think that adding content every now and then gives people time to jump into it, immerse themselves fully, enjoy it for a little while, and not get burnt out. So you play, you have a go at it, you stop playing again, you sort of put the game aside for a little while. A couple of months down the line, something big comes out, and it just revitalizes, rejuvenates your sense of enjoyment while playing that game, and that's great. I do feel that that's something that the ArenaNet guys should have done with Guild Wars. I think that, at the moment at least, the updates are coming too fast and furious. One doesn't often say that, but I do feel that there's too much happening in Guild Wars for the average Joe, the casual player like me, to enjoy. To be able to enjoy, because it's sort of overwhelming. So that's a good way of adding new content to the game. Cube World would have been so good if they had actually communicated. So I think that, for instance, in Terraria's case, it worked because Relogic, or whatever the guy's name is behind, or the studio behind the creation or updating of it, they communicated. They were not silent. They said what they were doing. They said, we're working on things, we've done this, we've done that. They teased with screenshots. But the guys behind Cube World, for instance, Wale, he just goes dark for 2 months, doesn't mention anything. He comes back after 2.5 months and says, well, you know, we're still working on it. And that's it. No mention of what's coming, no mention of how big it's going to be. But that's obviously a bad example because it's 1 in a million. I do, however, think, and I do prefer, slightly less regular updates, but bigger. That's what I think. Then impending gridlock. I have a question I'm curious about. How many languages do you speak, and are there any you would like to learn in particular? I speak English and Afrikaans. I speak a little bit of German. I'm definitely not fluent in German. I understand pretty much all German that's spoken at me, but I would say that I could probably survive in Germany if I was dropped there and told only to speak German. It would be a challenge though. So that's it. 3 languages. I guess, you know, in speaking Afrikaans, Dutch is going to be super, super easy. It is already easy for me to understand, and it would be easy for me to learn. And then a whole lot of other languages would also just come naturally. My Afrikaans is not great. Helene keeps mocking me about it. What a handsome guy. But I speak it. I speak it. I would like to learn an Asian language at some point. I don't know if I will ever get around to it. I would like to learn to speak German fluently, properly. And I kind of like the sound of Spanish, Italian, stuff like that. But that's secondary. Then, Ropname. Hi Lumin, here's a question. What was the most hilarious game you've ever played? I'm thinking of comedy games or parodies. Games like Bard's Tale, Deathspank, DLC Quest, Giant Citizen Kabuto, that was amazing, Earthworm Jim, Monkey Island, Postal 2, Stupid Invaders, etc. So what game had you laughing a lot, the most, or the hardest? Any recommendations for us? So, the Oddworld series was really fun and funny. Wow. It's again a tough choice because I keep forgetting like what I've played over the years, what I enjoyed the most. But parody games, and I have to be perfectly honest with you, they're not really my type of thing for the most part. I can't say that I like hardcore games. I like a bit of humor in a game, but I prefer a game that kind of takes itself seriously but tells an amazing story or has amazing gameplay. And sometimes these parody games sacrifice one or the other, a bit of this, a bit of that, for the humor and the comedy. But recently, not so many great games. The ones that you mentioned here that I've played, for instance, are definitely games like Monkey Island. I don't like Postal's humor style at all. DLC Quest was great. Giant Citizen Kabuto, I played a ton, and that was super good. But the first one that came to mind was the Oddworld series, Abe's Odyssey, and the like. That was funny. That stuff was really funny. I again just can't think of anything off the top of my head, and I didn't really have any time to prepare. If I was at home, then I would have just done a bit of research, looked what I played over the years, and I would have given you guys a list. But that's gonna have to do for now. Then I think these last few are requests. The Headhorn. Are you gonna play Batman Arkham Origins? Maybe you'd enjoy it, who knows. I wish I'd gotten this Nvidia bundle with my graphics card, but I didn't get a single game at all. You buy a Titan, you expect to get at least something free with it, but no. No, you don't. I didn't get a single game with it. I see that they give in nice games like Battlefield, Call of Duty, or is it not Battlefield? Maybe it's just Call of Duty Ghosts, Assassin's Creed 4, Batman, and a few others with new graphics cards. Totally jelly of guys buying graphics cards now. But Arkham Origins, I feel like I would enjoy it, but I didn't play any of the others, so I wouldn't really know what's going on. I'm not the biggest fan of Batman, but those games are just so good that I think anyone who plays them would probably enjoy them. So yes, I would enjoy it. The chances that I'm going to play it are slim, because I'm not going to go out and buy it just for an adventure worthy or something like that, but at some point I might jump into it. Are you still playing Dota 2? This is from Bloodgorm. If not, why did you stop? Have you ever read the Percy Jackson books? I have not. I watched the one movie, I think. Oh, I didn't watch the movie. I'm not even sure. I know there was a movie that came out. If I watched it, I can't remember it. It didn't make much of an impact. But I haven't read the books. I didn't read Harry Potter either. I read one Harry Potter book in anticipation of the last movie, and that was fun. But I don't know much about Percy Jackson at all. Is it worth reading? Is it a good series? You can let me know. I'm still going to play Dota very soon. I heard there was a big update that came out recently, so I'm keen to jump back in. I guess Dota 2 just kind of took a backseat for Hearthstone. But because I've already got Terraria and Skyrim up and running nicely again, consistently and constantly going up on the channel, I'll probably add Dota 2 into the mix. Maybe a video a week, maybe one or two videos a week. I will jump back in soon, play some games with the Lumies, have some fun. Then, Psycho Chickens. Now that Path of Exile is released, are you going to have a look at it again? I only bring it up because it's made by a company in New Zealand and we Kiwis need to stick together. That's the last question, and I'm definitely going to look at Path of Exile at some point. I actually downloaded the launcher and I want to download the client soon because I heard a lot changed. I heard they added a new class and it could be fun. Not sure to what extent. I might just release one impressions video on it to let you guys know what I think about the changes, the launch version of the game, the in-game store, because I haven't even seen that yet, and all the rest. So yes, Path of Exile at some point. It's probably going to be an adventure worthy on it, so you guys can look forward to that. But otherwise, that's it. This right here is an area that you're going to see more of soon. The next time we come to the farm, we're hoping that the river is going to be a little bit lower. Usually this is dry. Okay, it's just been raining recently, so kind of flooded down here. There's another river a little bit further down, and the location for our wedding is, it's just beyond this tree line. That's what I'll tell you right now. I can't give you much more information than that. So it's across the river, beyond the tree line, and there's a nice clearing there where we're going to have the ceremony. We're going to set up some tables for the reception, and it's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. By the time summer is in full swing, this will be dried out and we're going to make a little path through here, but I'm not going to explain all of that now. I just want to let you guys know where we were. The farm's campsite is up above here, so we're down on a little slant here, and I'm going to at some point also just release a video giving you guys a quick tour of it, showing it off, but it's not going to be this video. So you can check back here soon for more. Please leave questions. If you have any questions regarding the farm, anything like that, feel free to ask them. Games, gaming, anything. Helene, Nero, life in general, fall flavors, I don't know. He just gave his mommy a licky on the schnoot. It's very nice. He's very nice. Come here, boy. Come. Come say hello to everyone. Mwah. What a handsome guy. Okay. Check back as soon for more. Give this video a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. If you haven't subscribed already, you should probably do that as well. Again, leave those questions. And most importantly, happy Q&A on the farm. At the river. Happy that.